The man wrote secrets on paper. He wrote in a slanted, backward script, a language meant only for a mirror. Mirror held to the page reveals the text. He filled page after page with drawings and notes, thousands of them, stacks and flipping pages of notebooks. These pages look like codes from another time. They read like dreams of a world yet to be born. Machines that seem to have fallen from the future, from a mind that saw things no one else could. He drew the world not just as it was, but as it could be. In these notebooks we find a key to unlock Leonardo's mind. Leonardo was born in 1452 in the small Tuscan town of Vinci. The world he entered was one of change, a world on the edge of rediscovery. As a young man, he was sent to Florence, the beating heart of the Italian Renaissance. Imagine the city. Church bells ring out over terracotta roofs. The Arno River flows slowly under stone bridges. In the streets, merchants shout their wares. And in the workshops, a new kind of magic is being made. Florence was a city of artists, thinkers, bankers, builders. He became an apprentice in the workshop of a master, Andrea del Verrocchio. It was more than a painter's studio. It was a factory of creation. Here, young artists learned to do everything: grind pigments, cast bronze statues, design festival decorations, study the mathematics of perspective. Leonardo was not just a student, he was a sponge. He absorbed every lesson, every technique. He learned to see with the eyes of a painter, a sculptor, an engineer. The workshop was his school, his laboratory, his entire world. To paint the human form, Leonardo knew he had to understand it from the inside. He was not content with the surface. He wanted to know what lay beneath. Muscles that pull on bone, the delicate chambers of the heart, branching vessels that carry blood. He was the first to accurately draw the human spine and to depict a fetus in the womb with scientific clarity. He wrote how joints bend, how muscles contract, how the body moves. It is this profound knowledge that makes his figures seem alive. Bodies with weight and motion, powered by the mechanics he studied. He also had to know how we see. Leonardo became a student of optics, light and vision. He obsessed over light on a curve, shadows that create depth, and why distant mountains appear bluer, aerial perspective. He used geometry to measure sight and shadow, breaking the world into simple rules of light to create an illusion so perfect it could fool the eye. He wanted art not just beautiful, but true to nature's laws. Anatomy gave substance, optics gave atmosphere. Together they formed the bedrock of his genius. It's fascinating, really. Leonardo's mind was not only filled with beauty, it was also filled with the brutal logic of war. He lived in a violent age of feuding city-states and ambitious princes. He turned his inventive genius to machines for battle. He drew a colossal armored vehicle, a wooden shell covered in metal plates, propelled by men turning cranks, bristling with cannons on all sides, an unstoppable rolling fortress to break enemy lines. He did not build them all. Many remained ideas, dreams of power and destruction, but revolutionary ones. He sketched a mechanical knight that could sit, stand, and move its arms. An early robot powered by gears, cables, and pulleys. He designed giant crossbows and multi-barreled cannons. Studying a bat's wing, he designed an ornithopter he hoped would let a man soar. He wrote to Ludovico Sforza offering transportable bridges, impenetrable fortifications, and unheard-of weapons. Patronage for art and research often came from war. This was the paradox. The painter of angels who designed machines to kill, yet his curiosity never dimmed. Yeah, that's him, both maker and thinker. One painting stands apart from all others. It is small, painted on a simple panel of poplar wood, yet it holds the attention of the world, the Mona Lisa. For years, Leonardo carried it with him. Florence, Milan, France, working and reworking, never quite declaring it finished. It was his private obsession. We see a woman, her gaze locked with ours. Her eyes seem to follow you, filled with quiet intelligence. And then there is the smile, barely there, gentle and knowing. Part of its power lies in his technique, sfumato, smoked edges. He applied dozens of layers, some thinner than a human hair, to make light and shadow melt without hard lines. It's as if she is breathing, her expression changing in the light. This was not just art, it crowned his lifelong study of optics. The Mona Lisa fuses art and science, anatomy for substance, optics for atmosphere, geology for the hazy distances of aerial perspective. He brought all his knowledge to bear on this single portrait. Who was she? Why did he keep it? The smile. Is it happy, sad, or a secret? Perhaps the final mystery is not in the painting, but in the painter. The Mona Lisa reflects Leonardo's mind, complex, layered, endlessly fascinating. It invites us to look closer, to ask our own questions, and feel that lingering wonder. To truly understand Leonardo, we must return to his notebooks. Thousands of pages, more than a diary, a map of his mind. Many pages are in his mirror script, a backward scrawl from right to left. Some say secrecy, others smudge prevention. Perhaps the truth is both. It created a veil, not an unbreakable code. The real secret was never the script. The real secret was the thinking. His notebooks reveal a mind that refused boundaries. The world as one system, the same spiral in water and in hair. Endless lists, words, books, experiments, flight of birds, motion of waves, woodpecker's tongue, the mechanics of a smile. Not a polished record of a perfect genius, but working documents, mistakes, false starts, projects left behind. A tireless mind leaping from art to engineering, anatomy to botany, driven by hunger to know. He was not an artist who happened to be a scientist, nor a scientist who happened to be an artist. In his mind, they were one and the same. For Leonardo, the greatest book ever written was the book of nature. He believed all truth, all beauty, all invention could be found by observing the natural world. She was his ultimate teacher, his muse, his guide. He studied light through leaves, rivers carving stone, storms gathering, seeking the math within beauty. Geometry was his language. Circles, spirals, triangles, and perfect proportions return in his sketches, the human body within circle and square. He used geometry to map a bird's flight, calculate forces on an arch, and compose paintings in balance. He saw the world in motion, water, the vehicle of nature, as a metaphor for energy, for blood in our veins and air in the wind. For Leonardo, nature was a living machine. Imitate her, and man could achieve great things. Art and science are one in her tapestry. To step into Leonardo's world, we have to imagine it with our senses. In the quiet, hear the rhythmic scratch of a quill across rough parchment, the sound of a thought being born. The air holds melting beeswax, boiled ink, the must of old paper, leather-bound books, the cool, smooth silver point, the rough charcoal, the stiff page turning with a soft crackle. He felt the grain of a wood panel and the thick, oily paint he mixed on the palette. Sounds drift in. A church bell, merchants in the piazza, cartwheels on cobblestone, a lute in a courtyard. These were the soundtrack to his thoughts, grounding his ideas in daily life. He listened, he watched, he touched, he smelled. This deep sensory engagement made his work powerful. He was embedded in the physical world. Art and science as ways to make sense of it all. Leonardo da Vinci died in France in 1519, far from the Tuscan hills where he was born. He left a few finished masterpieces and a mountain of unfinished projects. He left notebooks, thousands of pages, scattered, collected, and gathered in great libraries and museums. Not a neat conclusion, but the raw record of a life in perpetual inquiry. His legacy is not just in what he made, but in how he thought. Curiosity, careful observation, and looking closely can lead to profound discoveries. He built a bridge between art and science. Today, artists, engineers, scientists, and dreamers still look to his pages. He chased questions from the anatomy of a flower to the mechanics of the cosmos, finding beauty in reason and reason in beauty. The final pages do not close a book. They open a door, inviting us to wonder, to ask why. His lasting gift is not an answer, but the enduring, quiet whisper of that question.